Actions, actions express priorities. Your actions reveal what it is that you actually want. You ever want to study yourself? You ever want to get clear? You ever want to understand what it is that you actually want? Just look at what it is that you're doing and look at the moves that you're choosing to make. Your decisions come from somewhere. Remember this, your decisions come from somewhere. They got to come from what you prioritize. They come from what you find important, what you find valuable, right? Now, priorities could come in different ways. Priorities could be what you prioritize psychologically. Priorities can be what you prioritize financially, physically, emotionally. Like there's a whole list of stories of things, a whole list of things that you prioritize. That every move you make, you're making those decisions because of that. You're building on top of that foundation. Now, if you ever want to understand yourself, just look at your moves you make and ask yourself, okay, why do I make these decisions? Why do I put this on the list? Now, it's easy to say, well, yeah, because, why do I get food? Oh, because, of course, we're supposed to eat, right? That's how people view things in a lazy way. Of course, we need things to eat, but why? Oh, for fuel. Our body wants food for fuel. Our body wants food for energy. That's what I mean by diving into yourself. If you want to understand yourself, look at the moves you make, right? You don't just do things for the sake of doing things. You just don't wake up and start moving, right? You move for a reason. Every move you make is backed by a foundation, a priority. This is why your actions express priorities, right? And for a lot of people, your ideas and your decision making are coming from, well, not for a lot of people, for everybody. Your ideas and decision making comes from this foundation. Now, how you see the future, how you see yourself, things you want to accomplish, things you want to get done. Your goals come from this same place. What you put down as a goal, what you put down as what you want to accomplish, the things that you want to do, it comes from the same place. Because it's your current state. That's why when your priorities change, so do your relationships. But when your perspective changes, so does your experience. Which means if you were to grow right now, if you were to change your perception or your perspective right now about yourself or change your priorities, everything else changes, including the thought of the future, including where you want to go, including what you think is, oh, this is the good move, this is the bad move, this is the right move, this is the wrong move. But your actions reveal what it is that you find important. Your actions are revealing what you think is the best move, right? This is what I think is the best. Based off fears, what it is that you say you want, the direction that you claim that you want to go, where you think you want to go, right? I want to go this direction. Why? Why is that? Where does that come from? Because you're viewing the world with your pair of eyes, but what is the mindset that's backing these eyes? Every move can't be overlooked. Listen, fam, listen. Every move you make cannot be overlooked. Meaning, you're making these decisions, every single move, the details behind every move, there's a reason why you do it. Now, can you see yourself? Can you see yourself and be honest with yourself on why you do what you do and why it is that you want what you say you want? These are the things that we overlook, that we pay no mind to, right? Because for most people, they're lazy when it comes to thinking. They're lazy when it comes to observing. Again, because even as I say this, I'm always breaking this down and saying this part, and especially in my lives, when I'm breaking something down, even as I say this, in order to see yourself, you gotta have to want to care, right? You're going to have to want to care to understand. You're going to have to want to care to see and to know. If you don't care, and if it's not part of your priorities to understand oneself, to understand yourself, then you're going to overlook the details and think that it doesn't play a major role to why you are in the position you are currently in all areas of your life. In all areas of your life, you're going to think, it doesn't play a major role. I can have this one conversation. I can eat this food. It's not important. It's not important to make this move. It's not important to do this. What you've accepted, the books you've closed. Think about what I mean by the books you've closed. The books you started reading and you've closed. And I'm talking psychologically, right? The ideas, the stories. Think about what I'm saying. The stories, the books you've opened, you've read a couple of pages and you close that book. Meaning conclusions. You guys getting that one? You guys get that one? The stories you've closed on yourself. The ideas you've closed. When you say, you started this process and then you close that book. A conclusion, an acceptance. I've accepted. This is my story that I've told myself. Assuming you've read the whole entire book, but you didn't read the whole book. You just read a couple of pages and closed it and put it away. So the stories that you're telling yourself and why you're in the position you're in. This is just the way it is. This is just what I am. This is just who I am. This is the position I put myself in. There's no shot. There's no chance. All these stories you tell yourself how you feel about yourself. You read 2 pages, you close the book and say, wow, the book is great. Because I read the front and the back. I lost. I already lost. I'm losing. But your actions express your priorities. And your priorities are being backed by something. Why do you value these things? Why do you value the moves you make? Why do you value the people around you? Why do you value the food you eat? Why do you value the entertainment? Why do you value the stories you tell yourself? All of it, it's important. All of it's important. And as I go like this, it's all important. But if we don't care, we overlook it. If we don't make it a big deal, it's not a big deal. It's like, it's too much. You're too serious, Anthony. You're too serious. It's too much, right? There's a lot that we got to focus on. I don't want to see myself. See, when the understanding of oneself is your main priority, what happens? You value every detail. You start viewing those conversations a bit differently, right? You're having these conversations. You start seeing moves like, whoa. Who am I around? Who are the people am I having conversations with? Why am I putting these things into my system? Whatever it is I'm putting into my system. And then think about now. Think about the foundation, right? Think about the foundation you're building your life on. Just think about it for a second. Think about the decisions you make and the ideas that come from this foundation. The stories, again, the books you've opened and then you just close without reading the whole thing. Now think about, your idea of what the future is, how you're so committed and locked in on this story of what the future is going to be. For most people, that's positive. For most people, that's negative. And that's from your judgment. The future is already this, stamped, when it doesn't have to be that way. Isn't that interesting? People move in momentum based on the story they've told themselves and how they feel about themselves, right? Future's not here yet. Past is gone. All we have is right now. And if we influence the future with every decision that we make, what is backing those decisions? Left or right? I'm going to go right. I'm going to go left. What is backing those decisions? What is backing that mindset? What are my list of priorities? What are my list of priorities? What are my stories? So now we're thinking, my life is this, or I'm in this position, I already lost, or I'm going in this direction, or da-da-da-da-da. We come up with all these things that we think is going to happen when it has not even happened yet and is not even here. But, however, when one refuses to change their priorities, when one refuses to change what they find important, we're talking about psychological priorities, physical priorities, priorities in general, you secretly know what the future is. Think about it. You're moving through life as if it's already predetermined. Because I know that who I've been and the things that I prioritize and the stories I hold on to will automatically get me this result I'm afraid to get. And because I'm afraid to get this end result, I'm so afraid to get this result, is part of the reasons why people embrace themselves for the hard fall. They embrace themselves for that Mike Tyson punch. They embrace themselves because they secretly know, man, look, if I keep making the moves that I've been making that led me up to this point, I'm going to get this end result, which is inevitable because I'm headed towards that direction. But there's something about these priorities, there's something about this process that I enjoy, no matter how harmful the process is. No matter how harmful the process is, the process of not doing, the process of escaping, the process of forgetting about my problems. No matter how harmful this process may be, I get something out of this process, which is why I prioritize it. It does something for me. But what I do know is what comes with this move. There's no right or wrong way. There's only consequences. And what comes with this path that I'm going down, these patterns, these habits, this lifestyle, these people, what comes with that, we secretly know. So then now, think about what's going on in one's mind. If you guys are following this process here, think about what's going on in a human mind. Is they're making moves that's influencing the future towards a certain direction, which will lead to an ultimate result, right? Will always lead to a result. But in their mind, they're like, you're moving in a way where you're preventing something to happen. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do it to the level that gets me that end result. So I'll do it a little bit because I enjoyed this process, whether it's process of escape, process of whatever it is. I enjoy this process. So I'm going to do it at a smaller scale so the blow won't be hard enough. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like driving a car with no brakes. And it has no brakes and saying, I'm just going to drive slow. I'm just going to drive slow. It has no brakes, but I'm going to drive slow. So if I crash, it won't hurt as much. If I hit something, it won't be as hard. So let me go drive slow. I'm going to back up a little bit, make it a little left. I'm going to drive 5 miles, 10 miles, right? I'm going to just drive slow. Embracing knowing that, hey, this is the inevitable crash. This is the inevitable hit. This is the inevitable, this is what's coming. So now it's like, all right, cool. Instead of changing the priority, which is fixing the brakes or getting a new car, right? Instead of changing the brakes or getting a new car, one would much rather just drive slow. This is what I'm saying, what people are doing psychologically. Why? Why is that? Oh, I would rather much drive slow because I don't have the time to change the brakes. I don't have the money to change the brakes. I don't have the thing. So that means my priority is not to make the time or make the money to change the brakes or get a new car. I would much rather continue what I'm doing just to drive slow because I have no brakes in the car. Damn. So many people are doing this stuff to themselves. So now if you can see you in your clearest form and look at what it is that you're doing, you're already revealing what you want. you're already revealing what it is that you want, right? So for most people say, yo, I'm lost, man. I don't know where I want to go, what direction I want to go, or I don't know what I'm doing in my life. It's like, no, you do know what you're doing. The question just is, why are you doing that? So you do know what you're doing, just why? Why are you doing that? Why? Why does that make sense to you? What is it that you say you want? Like you say you want something, but then you're doing this, which means this is what you want instead. Why? Fears, stories, priorities. This is why a change of priority changes the course of your life. When you change a story up that you've told yourself, when you open that book back up that we talked about, you open that book and you look at it. Okay, let me finish this book. Let me not read 2 pages to assume I know what the book is about. Let me see this process play out. Let me do something just to see what happens, which why I've done so much in my life. Psychologically, let me see what happens if I just commit. Let me see what happens if I change a priority. Let me see what happens if I change a story up. Let me see what happens if I open them books back up and started reading the pages. Let me see what happens if I put an end to this priority to begin something new. Let me just see what happens. But to get to that point, it's like, man, to let go of a priority, to let go of a comfort, to let go of what it is, to let go of something that gives you pleasure, to let go of something that is most comfortable, most secure, most safe, in hopes that, I'll have freedom, clarity, awareness. It's like, whoa, man, you don't understand. You don't understand how one's mind is getting dull and dull as day goes by. Dull from moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Dullness is kicking in. One is not seeing themselves because one is choosing to not see. One is not seeing themselves because one is choosing to not see. And why am I choosing to not to see the facts about me? Why? Why do I refuse to see me and say, hey, I don't know why I'm in this position, when your actions reveal your priorities? And what you want is always present at all times. How you feel about yourself is always present at all times. How you think reveals how you feel about yourself. And in all your decisions making, it's like you're solving problems that is not even here yet. You're preparing from the problem that's going to come because you know your priorities. You're preparing for the problems. I know this problem's going to come. So I'm preparing for it because, again, I know I'm going to crash because I have no brakes. So I'm preparing for these problems that are going to come because I know that I'm unwilling to change my priorities. I'm unwilling to change the stories. I'm unwilling to change my patterns. I'm unwilling to change my habits. So I start having the reaction of feeling bad, or I start having the reaction I would feel if it were to happen because I know it's going to happen. Do we see that? I know what's going to happen, so I feel that emotion now. It's like I know what's going to come. I know what's going to come because I have no intention to change my ways. It doesn't look like I have the intention. It doesn't look like I have the intention to change a pattern. It doesn't look like I have the intention to change a story. Like okay, I'm getting excited. The future is not here yet. The future is not here yet. Because the future is not here yet, I am making decisions that influences the future. Every decision I make, I'm making decisions that influence the future towards a certain direction. And as I'm influencing the future, because I see my priorities, because I secretly know the moves I made up that led me up to this point, people feel bad in the present because they know what's going to come based on the stories they've accepted about themselves. Do we see this? It's like saying I have no money and I know rent is due on the 1st of every month. I have no money. And because I have no money, I have no job, I have no skills, I have no money, I feel bad that I couldn't pay rent when rent is a month away. So I have the feeling now, damn, I can't pay rent. The conclusion, the stamp, I can't pay rent. Why? Because it's a month away and I'm saying I can't pay rent. So I feel bad in the present and I'm preparing my life for what would life look like when I can't pay the rent. So I'm already accepted the fact that I can't pay the rent that's a month away. But because I have no intention to go get a job, or I have no intention to gain more skills, because I don't have the energy or I don't prioritize that, I already assume that this is going to happen already. So I start living life like this, it's already happened. The end result has already happened. When it really doesn't have to be that way. How you say I can't pay the rent at the end of the month when it's a month away? When today you can come up with that money. I'm using this analogy. I'm using this example. I'm using what people go through. When today you can make one move. This moment you can make one move. But you're creating a future that doesn't exist, that you secretly know that you're preparing for because of what you're unwilling to change. You're moving in stamps. You're moving in stamps. Okay, how can I say it a different way? You're moving in conclusions. You're moving with acceptance. You're moving with like, yo, this is just the way it is. Yo, this is just the way it is. This is who I am. I'm solidified because the stories are so already set in place. It's stamped. It's already set in place. One story is set in place for themselves. Does it have to be that way? No. Can it change at any moment? Yes. And that's why it's the most beautiful thing about all that we talk about. Everything that we talk about is so beautiful. We can talk about it so much. Reveal it to somebody's face because it does not have to be that way. It can change. The priorities can change. The stories can change. And that can happen instantly. That can happen instantly. Just got to be willing to put an end. And that's what's beautiful about this whole thing we talk about. We break this whole thing down. People will be like, oh man, I see myself. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? It can all change. The moment you start recognizing, using the example of assuming you can't pay the rent that's a month away, the moment you start seeing, wow, there's unlimited amounts of money. I could actually go out there and create something for myself. Let me look for ways to how to do it. Let me look at some information to see what it is I can do to come up with that. And you will always make it happen because it's your priority to honor the word. It's your priority to make that happen. It's your priority to learn. It's your priority. Because you will always make it happen. Because you're always making what you want to do happen at all times, whether you want to admit it or not. It's like you will always find a way to make what it is you say you want happen. You want this, you will always make it happen. Always. Always, because you won't stop until you see that result. You won't stop until you get what you want. And for people who say, I really want to pay rent, I'm using this as an example for those who are jumping in now. Really want to pay the rent at the end of the month, but I have no money. It's like, no, you don't. Because you're already saying that you can't do it when it's a month away. Because of the stories you'd accepted. That means in order to do that, I got to put an end to this comfort. I got to put an end to this security. I got to put an end to this story. I got to put an end to these priorities. Everybody's focused. Everybody has passion. Everybody has intention. Everybody's moving with energy. Energy is passion. Question is, you're putting it into something that's getting you the result. There's no right move. There's no wrong move. There's only consequence. And you're getting the consequences of the moves you're making. You're getting the consequence of the moves that you are making, fam. Do we see this? Meaning you're focused, but you're focused on this, whatever this is. You have goals, you have needs. You're focused on it, but you get the results that you deserve because of the moves you're making. The question is, what is it that you're focused on? A lot of people focus on not doing. Not doing is an action. Not making a decision is a decision. That influences the future towards a certain direction. So I'm going to end it off with this. Your actions express your priorities. And if you want change, all you got to do is take who you are, take your attention back, take your energy back, take your responsibilities, and use that and shift it towards something else. And that's what's called change. When you change your priorities, you change that intention, you take your energy back. Think about what I'm saying. The energy that you're putting in to drive that car with no brakes. The energy that you're putting in to to look both ways, drive slow. The energy you're putting in to get to this one point, it's like, okay. You take that same energy, that same intention, that same focus. You take that out and say, I'm going to go focus on fixing this brake. So I'm going to go focus on making the money I need to get a new car. That's what change is. Change is taking who you are already and just headed towards a different direction. So there's no mutation. There's nothing going on in the brain. We all focus. We all got what it takes inside of us. Every single human being has what it takes. It just comes down to what you care about and what you say you want and what you prioritize. You take that attention back. Take that energy back, take your responsibility from that direction back and say, all right, cool. I'm just going to shift it this way. And watch you see everything change. Give me some fire emojis, fam, if you're loving this live this morning. Give me some fire emoji. Give me the emoji. I really enjoyed this one because anybody who's listening closely, real shit. Cheers, everybody. You're welcome. You're welcome. The kid is on. What up? Cheers. Cappuccino in hand, but it will do. All right, family. Yo, love you like crazy. Hit the link in my bio. Sign up to my awareness journal. If you haven't done so yet, $5 a month. Link is in my bio. And I will holler at you guys next time. This video will be up on my YouTube channel later today. Have a solid one, fam. Take care. Peace.